So the 2025 WNBA draft is happening relatively soon. And we are going to be talking in this video about the mock draft. We're going to be doing a full mock draft pre-NCAA tournament. The draft is in a month and a bit, so we're going to be doing a mock, or is it even in under a month? But basically, we're going to be doing a mock draft now, and obviously, once the tournament happens, things very much are going to be changing. So that is something that I do find quite interesting, just how much mock drafts change. And we're going to be looking at what teams kind of need and what are going to be interesting situations. So, with the first pick, and it's obviously going to be in the first round, with the first pick of the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers. Yeah, the Dallas Wings are taking, they're taking Paige. That is simple. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Paige Bueckers is going number one. Paige is probably going to make the first team All-American, and I would assume she would. Like she's averaging what, 19, 4.5 and 5 a game on good shooting. And the thing with Paige is, again, look, they played in the Big East. Like they won the Big East when they were the Lou Lopez Seneschal led UConn Huskies. They're a good team. Problem is Paige is still as skinny as she was as a freshman. I think she was better as a freshman than she is now. And this is in fact outside of her sophomore year where she was not really playing. She didn't play that much. She only played 17 games, 29 minutes a game. Outside of her sophomore year where she came back late after injury, this has in fact been the least she has scored. However, again, quite a lot of assists is the most she's had since her freshman year. And yeah, she's going to be taken number one, no question about it. With the number 2 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm take Dominique Malonga from Asvel. So, with the way the draft has been, Olivia Miles is struggling. She is very, very much struggling in like just recent times, whereas Dominique Malonga is ridiculous. She's absolutely ridiculous. Like you've seen the video earlier, she literally has GOAT potential. Like, I think, in my personal opinion, Dominique Malonga should be drafted first, but she is 6'6" with a 7'2" wingspan, runs like a guard, can block shots, can shoot a little bit, and she can do things that no other player in the world can do, and she's 19. And also, she's 4 years younger than Paige. That also helps. But Dominique Malonga, for me, I think a fairly clear-cut number 2. With the number 3 pick, and again, the Mystics have picks number 3 and 4, so I don't think it makes much of a difference. But with the number 3 pick, the Washington Mystics select Olivia Miles. The Mystics need a point guard. Like, they were running Brittany Sykes there for times last year. They ran Ariel Atkins there at times. They ran Jade Melbourne there at times. This is a team that literally does not have a point guard. Julie Vanloo was starting quite a lot of last year, and Julie Vanloo's gone. They need a point guard, and one of those picks is 100% going to be used on a point guard. So why not take the best point guard in the draft? Olivia Miles, as much as she's been struggling recently, she still has that really, really high ceiling. With the number 4 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Kiki Iriafen. This is more prediction than it is my opinion. I'm not high on Kiki Iriafen. I think there are positives and negatives to what Kiki Iriafen does on the basketball court. I think Kiki is a really good perimeter defender. The problem is she can't defend on the interior and she can't play on the perimeter. She is in this really weird role in basketball that has not existed in the men's game in 15 years, but still exists in the women's game, and they're 20 years behind in their scouting, so Kiki Iriafen is still going to be a high pick, just because of the sheer numbers that she put up. But for me, I wouldn't have Kiki Iriafen. I just don't. I'm not a Kiki Iriafen. I'm not a Kiki Iriafen truther. I'm a Kiki Iriafen truther. Like, she can shoot a bit of a mid-range shot. She just cannot shoot the 3-ball. Like, she is a player who cannot shoot the 3-ball. She has to play center on offense, and she has to play small forward in defense. So basically, the only situation where I think she's super effective is if you put her beside Alana Smith or something. But yeah. Then with the number 5 pick, the Golden State Valkyries take the biggest name remaining in the draft. The Golden State Valkyries are not going to be great this year. They can literally take whoever the hell they want. They're going to take AZ Fudd. I think UConn might go and mess about and win the whole championship. And I think AZ Fudd is one of those players that is a big name. Straight up, I think they're going to take AZ Fudd purely because she is a big name. And for me, I'm like, you're going to take a big name if you're a new franchise. You're going to need fans to buy tickets. Like, that is important. Like, ticket sales are quite important, so you're going to need fans to buy them. And with that, like, AZ Fudd is going to sell some tickets because she's Paige Becker's friend. Good player, good shooter, good defender. Not as good as the next pick, who at number 6, the Washington Mystics again are going to take Sonia Citron. The player that is expected to be taken, that was originally expected to be taken at number 3 by the Chicago Sky, and once the Sky traded the pick, everyone kind of knew what was going on. Sonia Citron will come right in and could start. Like, she is going to be, she's the type of player that will give you a 6 out of 10 in every game, occasionally give you a 7 out of 10 performance, but will never drop an absolute stinker, because even when her shot's not falling, she can play well. She is an elite role player. I cannot believe a top 5 pick or a top 6 pick in the draft is going to be used on a player whose ceiling is, I don't know. I don't even know what her ceiling is. Like, her ceiling is, she's not great at guarding people faster than her. Her ceiling is Lexi Hull. And to be fair, Lexi Hull was taking 6 in her draft, but this meant to be a good draft. Either way, look, Sonia Citron is a player that will do a lot of decent things, I guess. Yeah, she's gonna be fine. Like, and that there's no reason for me just getting excited about Sonia Citron, because I think she's fine. Like, she's never gonna be bad, and that's the thing. Like, I would love for the Fever to have drafted Sonia. I would love for the Fever to have Sonia Citron. She'll make a roster, whereas not all these first round picks are gonna make rosters. With the number 7 pick, the Liberty are gonna take Serena Sundell. The Liberty literally they need a point guard. If I'm not mistaken, the New York Liberty do not have a point guard. I don't actually think the Liberty have a point guard. So I'm looking at their roster. Like, you've got a 2-guard playing the 1 in Sabrina, and that is it. They actually do not have a backup point guard. So this pick is going to be taken by a point guard, and I just don't think Olivia. I don't think I don't think Georgia Amore is the right player. I think with Serena Sundell, you are getting a 6'2" point guard who does not have the stats that Georgia Amore does, sure. But you're getting a 6'2" point guard who can shoot the 3 ball a little bit. Maybe not this year, but who can shoot the 3 ball, who passes the ball really well, and is, again, not 5'5". Like, that's the thing. Like, they need a point guard. Best available point guard at this point in time is Serena Sundell. And Georgia Amore might be better in college, but again, she's 5'5". With the number 8 pick, the Connecticut Sun select Anissa Morrow. Yeah, Anissa Morrow is this kind of tweener, super high upside player. Could honestly go number 5 to the Valkyries. That pick would not surprise me at all. I have a feeling that Kiki might end up here, but for me, I'm looking and I'm like, she is a super good rebounder, plays with a really high motor, just can't shoot. Decent mid-range shooter, I guess, decent pull-up, but I mean, that's really it. With the number 10 pick number 9 pick in the draft, the Los Angeles Sparks, who need, let's be real, the Sparks need defense. Kelsey Plum, I like. Rickea Jackson, doesn't really play. She's better. He's gotten better on defense. Doesn't really play much defense. Cameron Brink and Diarca Hampy, fine. Cameron Brink's an elite defender, but they don't have any perimeter defense whatsoever. So I'm taking the best defender remaining and just praying that she can play offense, and taking Sanaya Rivers. I think Sanaya Rivers in that backcourt, because she can take ball handling duties as well. Like, we can't forget that. Like, Sanaya Rivers is a lockdown defender, and she can play. She's a good offense. Like, she's a good facilitator. She can't score. She can't shoot, can't score. And it just depends on whether or not she's so bad on offense that she's unplayable. Because if she's even competent enough on offense, she's playable. It allows Kelsey Plum to play off the ball or on the ball, and she can just guard the other team's best player. So, yeah, I'll take the best defender in the draft in Sinai Rivers. And then for the Chicago Sky with the number 10 pick, I think you go full-on versatility here. So I'm not sure. Like, a player that I would consider maybe is like Tahina Paopao and Gianna Neepkins if they're looking for pure shooting. I like Cheyenne Sellers. I do really like Cheyenne Sellers. I think she could be a long-term answer at point guard. She's a modern-day basketball point guard. She's 6'2". She can set the play a bit. She shoots a low volume, but she can hit shots. I like Cheyenne Sellers. And I think she would be a good fit for Chicago, especially if she can figure out how to play to win the WNBA. It gives you one of the more versatile defensive backcourts. Sure, at this point in time, can't really play with Camilla and Angel, but like, come on, it's the 10th pick. How likely is that the 10th pick starts? And with the 11th pick, the Minnesota Lynx, who desperately need a true point guard, are going to take Georgia Amoore. So Georgia Amoore, 5'6" point guard, can run the show a little bit, unbelievable handle, is 24 years old, and she's not that much, like she's like a year older than Caitlin Clark, over a year older than Angel Reese. She's going to play the one. And this is a team that is in win now mode, that needs somebody to come in and just play a role, and I do think she could be a better backup point guard than Natisha Heidemann, who's not really a point guard. So, yeah, she's going to be taking number 11. And with the number 12 pick, the Dallas Wings select someone who I just go pure upside from Azavel Jusei-Josite. Prodigy. Like, she was a prodigy when she was younger in Europe. She can handle the ball. She can score a little bit. Her jumper's okay. This is somebody that's probably going to come over next year, but not going to do much. Not going to play much. Like, Paige Becker's probably going to run the one. Taurasi's going to be a backup. She's going to play very few minutes, but do you go? But for me, it's like, you've got Tahina Paopao, who I don't think is going to really play. You've got a lot of players that I don't think are going to really play for Dallas. So why not, if you're just going to throw them as one of the last three off the bench, why not have the 19-year-old with unlimited upside, the 6'2" point guard? Why not, if you're going to put them on the end of the bench anyway? Why not just use a first-round pick on probably the 5th highest potential in this draft in Jusite? So anyway, yeah, that is the video. That is the first round. Eventually, I will do a 2-round mock draft before the actual draft. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.